Alright. So, supposedly we're streaming now.
Okay, but I can't see you.
Okay, well, I see you just fine.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing it on YouTube yet. Oh. Hey, we're showing up live.
Are we both up there?
What?
Are we both up there?
Let's find out. Hey, say something.
Hello.
Are we both up there? Let's find out. Alright, yeah, and I hear you just fine. So, I guess you're not going to be able to see me. What's up, everybody? We're coming back. And Lewis is here.
Hello.
This way. My screen, for some reason, in this system, switches the way I'm used to pointing.
Right, so it's backwards or something?
So, like, I pointed to you and then realized, oh, it's actually the other direction.
So are you over here or over here for me?
I'm to your right, toward Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle, okay.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, so, yeah. Welcome, everybody. I don't know if anybody's on right now.
Yeah, I can't see that info either.
I can't really see. I've got the chat on my phone, so if anybody talks,
he'll have to let me know, because usually I'm the one catching those things.
That's right. That's right. We're switching jobs. I think there's a delay too, so hopefully
there was. I heard that when you were checking it on YouTube earlier. So
yeah, hopefully. Oh, you heard me listening to it on YouTube?
Yeah, I heard the echo. When you went over to YouTube, it was like 5 seconds delayed or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got it all the way down. I've just got it so I can read the comments easier.
Oh yeah, right. That makes sense.
But we're live. I'm just happy that it worked. Anyways,
we still got some bugs to work out. No offense to this guy, but
someone's on. Welcome.
Hello.
I don't know who it is yet, but
that's all good.
We'll get there.
We'll definitely figure this out. I mean, this is further than I've ever been with by myself. Anyway,
yeah,
I've had people set this stuff up.
Well, I guess we can just go ahead and apologize for anyone who watches this. We're rookies to this. This is the first time we've ever done anything like it. So, and I don't even know. Have you ever used Skype? I know you had it, but
me personally, no. This is literally the other day when I tried it for the first time. Was the first time I'd ever tried to log into it. And I can't even use the program that's on my computer. I had to go through the internet.
Yeah.
And just use it online, which is fine. I mean, it seems to be working well for me, but I can't see you, so
right.
We'll figure that out in the future, though.
Yeah, that's super weird. I mean, it could be if you have low connectivity. Anyways, all this is probably boring to the listener. How you doing, man? I haven't even barely talked to you in a while. How's it going over there?
Not too bad. Not too bad. John, the new baby, turned 6 weeks old today, and yeah. Had an interesting job opportunity that did not work out this past week, so I was kind of bummed about that. But otherwise, I'm doing good. I've read some really good comics, and
what you been reading?
You know that I can't believe it's not the Justice League I picked up back at the Comic-Con. I finally got around to reading that.
Oh yeah,
man, that junk is just nonstop like humor. So if you've read any of the stuff that I gave you before you left of that Justice League run, it's like that dialed up to 10.
Okay.
And it's really funny. So, I mean, it's about these guys before this guy gets it in the head. But
right.
Anyway, it was really funny. Let's see, what else have I read? I'm just going to turn around and look at my stack.
I got to... I'm so far behind reading.
Yeah.
I read some what's it called? There's a story arc that happened between Wonder Woman and the Justice League Dark a few months ago.
Oh, the Witching Hour, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And I had gotten all of them, and I ended up accidentally reading the last of the final issue.
I remember you telling me that.
And I hadn't read the others. And so I'm slowly catching up on the others. And then, been finding a new comic book store, so that's been interesting. I went in there the first time, and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Guy barely talked to me at all. Not complete opposite of Brandon.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I loved about Brandon is or love about
Play for Life Comics.
He's still around. That's right. Is that he first day I got in there, he just came up there and was very friendly and talked to me, and it was nice. Even though he was at the cotton factory there, and so he barely had anything going for him at that time, as far as like size.
Yeah.
And now his store's nice and big, and he's got lots of room for everything. But then it was just like a little corner in the cotton factory,
Right.
Cotton company. So, but
I drove by there today. I thought of you, and the fact that I have to get by to get the new issue of Fantastic Four. I think it's out now.
Yeah, I have it. I just haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, with Doom on the cover, right?
I don't remember. I think so. I don't know if that's the cover I ended up with.
Well, I mean that's.
I think that's the main one though.
Right. So I read this. I don't know how far into you are, but there's some quote unquote new revelation about Galactus in the issue. Like he's immune to something.
Yeah.
Have you got that far?
No.
Okay, well, I won't spoil it. I'll just tell you it makes no sense with the rest of the canon for
for Galactus.
Yeah, it's a needless power up. Like they make him more powerful in this regard, and it's stupid. Like I get why they do it in one sense, but there's a really awesome John Byrne Galactus story in the 240s. I think it's like 242 to 244, where Frankie Ray becomes Nova, Galactus's herald. That's like a 30-plus-year-old spoiler. Spoiler alert! If for some reason you guys are not in the know,
in case you missed it 30 years ago,
huh?
I said, in case you missed it 30 years ago.
Right. I mean, they addressed it in the Fantastic Four cartoon show from the 90s. Like, they had an episode or two about that. Yeah. They substitute Ghost Rider for Doctor Strange. That's about the only difference in the episode from the comics. But ultimately, like, they're changing Galactus in a way that undermines that story. It makes that story look stupid. Unless it's a new power-up, which even then, it makes him even more overpowered than he already is.
Yeah.
And Galactus is like an Omega-level threat, no matter... even if he's like super weak from being crazy hungry and needing to eat, he's still Omega-level bad guy. And so I think it's just stupid to give him this particular power up. So I don't know if that's a Marvel problem or Dan Slott or whoever, but
yeah,
it's needless. It's stupid. So when you read it, you'll see, oh, that's what he was talking about. But I read an article and that he sort of was talking about it, and I'm like, that's dumb. Well, I mean,
yeah, like
the way that they essentially it'd be, in one sense, like removing Superman's weakness to kryptonite, right? And then, of course, some eagle-eyed fan is going to say, hey, but they did that in the 70s with Superman. Okay, two things. They powered him down and then took away the one weakness, right? Yeah. So that's the difference. Of course, they went back on that, and then Crisis happened, of course, and John Byrne added things. Like, I read a really cool article the other day that explained that Smallville was not truly located in Kansas officially until John Byrne's run on.
Really?
Yep.
So when was that? 70s?
86.
86? Wow.
Yep.
So almost,
I mean, it was Smallville, but they didn't identify where it was. So
hey,
in
someone
the
else is on. Woohoo!
hey, in the Batman versus Superman movie, you know how they have Gotham on one side of the river and then Metropolis on the other? You know what I'm talking about?
Sorry, somebody said Goku versus Superman ?
Oh, Superman.
Yeah, I think that. What was that YouTube channel that did that long video about it?
I don't remember the channel, but I do remember the video.
That was a good video. That was like my early days of watching YouTube, and I was like, you know, I can't believe I just watched like a 30-minute YouTube video, and now I watch it all the time. So it's like, yeah, that's a short video, and no, I really enjoyed the way they did that. Goku, I don't really know enough about him really to really talk accurately about it, but I just love Superman. So
right, I would say that Goku, because you know some of his stuff is magic based, would have something of an advantage, but I think starting out base level Superman, I mean Goku would have to power up. Superman's already powered up, so.
Right. He says, yeah, but those statistics didn't count for God level, really. They did talk about Superman becoming God, basically, which I was like, really? Is that what we're going to include in this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, ultimately you do, right?
And
for those kind of fights, you have to
crafted
do.
Curtain. Sorry. Hey.
Hello. Yeah, for those kinds of fights, though, you have to turn morals off, right? Because it's got to be to the death.
Well, if you cut morals off, I feel like Superman's definitely going to win. But then on the other hand, like for Goku, like if you cut the fact that he wants a fair fight off, then he might cheat. Or he might use other means to beat Superman.
Right, but Superman has like heat vision. He could, the same way that he could beat somebody like Professor X, he could beat, he just stands off at a distance in space, and because as far as I understand, Dragon Ball Z doesn't go into space, right?
I have no idea.
Like they travel, huh?
I have no idea. You'd have to ask Shelton about that because that's his realm of influence. Or
okay, we'll
that's
have
a friend
to
of ours if you're watching. Hey, someone else is on. Welcome. Yeah, so I feel like if you took some of the morals off, like Goku might use stuff like kryptonite to beat him.
Right.
So I think that Goku could beat Superman.
Right.
But I feel like overall, I feel like Superman would win. But
yeah.
There's also the underlying fact that I'm biased.
Right. We're willing to acknowledge our bias.
So.
I mean, it's right there up front, right?
That's right. I looked at my blue shirt and thought it was a Superman. I was like, oh, this is a different shirt. Never mind.
Are you wearing the Lantern shirt?
No, I'm actually wearing a Creed Camp shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can't see him for those of you just tuning in. For some reason, we can't figure out how to feed him. I mean, he can see me, but I can't see him.
That's why I keep interrupting him so that he can hear what y'all are saying.
Yeah.
Because usually he's the one that interrupts me.
Right.
But
what were we talking about, though?
Before that, I don't remember.
Oh yeah, we were talking about new comics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I read something else I wanted to say.
I read the Teen Titans 25 special issue, which came out like half a month ago, I think.
Oh yeah,
and
that's the girl's origin, right? Riot.
Yeah, Crush.
Oh, Crush. Sorry,
all about Crush, and it was really good. I was very surprised. I mean, honestly, I've been surprised about the whole series, how good it's been. Because I mean, none of those characters look appealing to me at all.
Right.
But Glass, he made it work, man. I think that's who wrote it. He made it work. It's great. It's really great. excuse me, and like a whole issue on Crush, and I don't care anything about Crush, but
Right.
that issue made me enjoy it. So I mean, hey, that's all I want to ask for a comic book, right?
Right. Be able to enjoy it.
So there's another one. I think it's 26 just came out this past week. So eventually I'll get around to doing it, to reading that one.
So I don't know if you know this, but Titans is canceled.
Oh, I think I did. They canceled a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, issue 36 will be the last one.
So that they can push all the Bendis stuff, which looks dumb. At least some of it does. I mean, I really enjoyed the Young Justice, but I'm biased toward them.
Right.
So you put Tim Drake in a series, and I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the art on that book, though.
It's Gleason, I think.
Huh?
It's Gleason.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, he must be doing a different style or something. Maybe it's the guy who's
At least I think it's Gleason. It looks just like his Superman from Tomasi run.
I don't know. The stuff I've seen, though.
Are you talking about the promotional art?
I mean, that might be what I've been seeing.
I feel like the promotional art might be doctored a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, Mango Bed. He says, "What's up, guys?"
What's up, man?
So I'm excited
Glad to be back.
Lewis back on the channel, and this is really the first time we've really had a long dialogue since I moved.
Yeah.
Texted every now and then. I've tried to
call, and then there's the delay there, right?
Keep trying to call this fool, but he never answers. I was like, I move, and he no longer responds to me.
Well, there's less sense of urgency to respond, right?
Well, I figured that since I left, then he just decided to spend more time with the kids and the wife. So didn't have any excuse not to, right?
This is true.
I'm not saying you didn't want to. I'm just saying.
Oh, no, I know.
Anyways, oh man, I really want to. I'm excited to get back into some comic books though.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks though. Like I've been listening to Return of the King. Love that.
Oh, nice.
Love that thing. I listened to the other two as well. Hey, I finished The Last Battle, so
good job.
So guys, if y'all want to ask specific questions, feel free. We're just kind of rambling on right now.
as is our true to our nature.
Yes, that's true. That's true. We just kind of talk about random stuff that has little to no bearing, and anyways.
So other than I can't believe it's not the Justice League book. One thing that I've been reading is this Agatha Christie short story series, Partners in Crime. It's about a husband and wife, and they're detectives because that's what she writes.
Right.
And it's been really funny.
Huh.
Just the way, like, have you guys ever seen Remington Steele with Pierce Brosnan?
I haven't.
Okay. Well, I don't know if any of our watchers or viewers have, but it's like that, but 50 years before that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny. And sort of that was Pierce Brosnan before he became Bond.
And Mango Man said he's seen that.
Yeah. I thought it was a fun show. When I was a teenager, they aired reruns, and
Mango Man said he's old. I tell Lewis that all the time.
I am old, and I readily acknowledge that. Yeah, because I don't know that I watched it when it was on TV. Like, I was alive, but that just wasn't something that we were watching.
Yeah.
I was into the A-Team, and I had a bedtime at that age. So.
Oh, you know what I saw yesterday? I think you saw me posted on Facebook. I watched Monk. I was like,
yeah.
I mean, I have like half the series on DVD, but it showed up on TV. I was like, awesome. I forgot how much I love this show.
I have the whole series on DVD. I was thinking about that too. So I'm just going to sit back and relax a little bit. I love everything about that show except the series finale.
Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. I mean, part of it
I
was
feel like it gave closure, but it didn't. It wasn't like the,
right.
you know.
Well, I feel like they went 8 seasons and didn't know how to end it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
They probably should have thought about it before they got that far. And
Well,
I'm not sure that it really made you wonder, like, if he had opened it like 8 years ago, he could have solved the crime 8 years ago.
right.
And it's just like, why?
Yeah, that's
I don't
that
know.
Dux A Machina thing, right?
Yeah.
Out in the box or machine or whatever.
So that was my biggest complaint with it. I mean, I enjoyed it otherwise. It was cool that they well, I guess he didn't actually have a daughter, but she did. It's
Right.
weird. Really weird.
Yeah. It was a bit different.
And yeah, the way he treated her was kind of awkward too.
Well, that's Monk for you,
But
though,
it
right?
is Monk. It is Monk. It's really weird after 8 seasons to actually see him happy when
Right.
he's not on his silly medicine. But
Yeah.
But anyways, I love that show.
Yeah.
Unlike Psych, which I also love as much, I feel
Yeah.
like Psych after the last couple seasons kind of got old. But Monk
No.
yeah.
It was after the season with Yang, I think it was. So like you had the season where he had the girlfriend from high school or whatever. So like 5 or 6. And then it started to get old because like there were some really great episodes. Like I love the stuff with the dude from Princess Bride.
Oh man, I love him.
I love
Cary Elwes.
Yes, I love the stuff with Gus's quartet.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah.
They only have one episode of that though. Quarter
No,
Black.
no. There was another one. There was another one.
It was much later though.
Yeah.
My problem with that was that they what I mean by that is it got really, really over the top silly.
Right.
So it went from like being ironically funny to just being over the top silly.
Okay, I can agree with that.
And I think that the biggest difference is when the detective, I lost his name, Lassie is what they called him.
Lassiter.
When he started acting less like this over the top crazy guy and more like a
where he was real straight laced and then he kind of
softened
lost
up.
his mind.
Yeah, he kind of became a silly character, and I was like, he's not supposed to be. That's around the time where the series got kind of off from me.
Yeah, well, and one thing that we noticed too was there was like a lot more sexualized content as well.
Yeah.
Toward the end. Like there was some things early on, like in the first, the opening scene is him making out with some girl on a couch or whatever, but you never felt like it was pushing the boundaries. Then you had that one episode where they're doing like a documentary, and there's this one girl who's just like over the top with that stuff, and we're just like, okay, well, we'll catch you when you guys are done, and we'll appreciate it. Because the series finale of that was really good, I thought.
I don't think I've seen it yet.
Okay, well, I won't ruin it.
I hadn't watched the last season of it.
Yeah.
I was at college, and it was getting more. I was coming home less and less, so it was much more difficult to watch.
Right.
And it just kind of got
we were
silly.
catching it online on the USA Network after the fact.
I think I've got 6 of the 8 seasons, though.
I think that's what I've got, too.
I did watch the musical. The musical was funny.
See, I haven't seen that. Oh, did you watch the Christmas movie? They had a Christmas movie. I haven't caught that yet.
I think I have.
The next time we hang out in person, maybe we should watch that or something.
Yeah, there we go. And we still haven't watched the Star Wars special.
Well, right.
I have it saved on YouTube so we can watch it though.
We're saving that for a special occasion.
So here's the question. This is unrelated to everything we talk about. I was watching this channel. What's it called? It's this guy who does like scientific analyzes like superpowers
right
scientifically.
Sure.
Wanted to plug him because he's really good. Anyways, he was talking about why you wouldn't want flight, and I was just thinking about like, would you say that Superman would be faster running or flying?
Flying.
Flying. Why?
Yeah. They've discussed that in different issues where he's racing the Flash. So, okay, so his power, Superman's flight is powered by his telekinesis. Okay,
Right.
So that's, if you're like, where does that come from? John Byrne again sort of explains Superman's. He has like this really tight level force field, which is why his costume doesn't typically get torn up when he's shot at, but his cape might.
Right.
And that's why Superboy Connor Kent, when he first started in the 90s, had tactile telekinesis as his power. And so a lot of Superman's powers are derived from telekinesis, and therefore his ability to fly would be would empower his flight to make him faster, as opposed to using the strength in his legs to pump and run, if that makes sense.
Right.
That's another argument as to why the Flash is faster than Superman. And if Superman were going to try and catch him or race him, he would have to do it flying as opposed to just straight running.
Right.
And so in a lot of stuff, particularly like the Superman cartoon show from the 90s, they made it where he would have to be touching down every so often.
Yeah.
He couldn't just straight fly in a race against the Flash, because that would be technically cheating.
Right. So, is there ever a circumstance in which you would allow Superman to beat Flash?
Yes, there is a comic where there was like worlds at stake, and I think the two villains that were making them race each other had switched, and Flash realized it, so he let Superman win.
Right.
And then Superman's like, "No, I beat you fair and square," and Flash was like, "Yeah, right." Because we see that Flash has figured out that if Superman loses, like somebody dies or some planet dies or something, I forget exactly the circumstances, but Flash willingly loses so that.
Well, I mean, in a straight out race, is there any circumstance
where Superman would beat Flash?
Right.
I
mean, what if he had
maybe if the
God
gravity,
level plant power?
Only if gravity were a factor, because of Superman's powers. I think he could overcome gravity, whereas Flash, well, I guess technically if he hit escape velocity, he could overcome the gravity too. But that would be my argument, that the gravity would pull on Flash more than it would Superman. So if gravity were increased or something, but if they were running through space where there is no gravity, Flash would, be gone, and Superman would be like, "Oh, there he went."
I guess Flash would have to like.
He'd have to have a road to run on, or of some variety.
Well, I was thinking he could move his arms and like create like a tornado and zoom off like a. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
I do, and but you have to have something to push off against. So I guess if he hit Superman with a tornado, that might help. But I was just thinking,
like he's just pushing, like creating momentum, which should thrust him, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I really didn't pay attention in physics, so you have to forgive me.
Okay. But how does Superman fly if he needs to touch down every now and then?
No. That's the race.
Oh, okay.
In the race,
I got you.
Yeah, right. So to make it a true race, it can't just be him flying versus Flash running. But to make it fair, Superman would have to touch down every once in a while for the race. But Superman doesn't actually have to touch down. But Superman, he just pushes off with his tactile telekinesis.
But he's still not going to win the race.
No.
Even flying. Unless, like we said, Flash lets
Well,
him.
I mean, it depends on which version of Flash he's racing at what point in history,
Yeah.
right? Because like if it's Wally West Flash, when he was depowered, obviously he'd beat him easy, because Superman. I don't think in space Superman can hit light speed. On Earth, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
Flash, though, at his prime, he can do light speed, right? So, yeah. So is that what they're asking you about in the comment section?
No. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
I had seen that. He was saying something like if you didn't want you wouldn't want flying because if you got too high you wouldn't be able to breathe, and then if you went too fast you would get hypothermia or something. And I was like, yeah, but like my first thought was Superman. I was like, of course it's not going to hurt Superman.
Right.
Because he's Superman. I was like, well, and it made me think like a lot of powers really depend on other powers.
Absolutely. So like the Flash, his power isn't just super speed because he'd burn himself up if that were the case. He also has a force field of sorts that gives him like this anti-friction thing that allows him to run such that he's not torn apart by the wind and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I guess like he has to have like super metabolism in order to keep up with all the food that he eats, and
right.
He has to eat a lot of food, be able to eat a lot of food fast.
Well, with Barry though, it wasn't quite like that. But Wally was definitely like that.
Yeah.
So he was always stopping off to eat pizza or some huge meal of like hot dogs or something. That was something they used to regularly keep up with. Now, they may have reintroduced it and applied it to Barry, but that was particularly something Wally had to deal with.
I think they've mentioned it in passing with Barry, but I don't know that it's ever been like a regular thing for him. At least a little bit that I've read in the newest run. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder, like, because, I would want, like, if I had the choice of picking a power, it would be, and I thought about it, it would be telekinesis, so I could do a lot of things, including fly.
Yeah.
And,
that's one of the good powers.
But there'd probably be a bunch of other powers that might necessarily go with it, so that I can even use that power.
Yeah.
Which really just makes powered people even more powerful when you think about it.
Right.
But I feel like if you were had super speed and had to eat all the time, you'd really need to be super rich.
That's true. And early on, Flash he won the lottery. So Wally West won the lottery.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's how he was able to afford it. And then, of course, he relied on the kindness of strangers.
Right.
So.
Oh, man. Yeah, that would be an interesting problem.
Yeah. I'll definitely have to lend you those comics at some point. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I was very surprised when I reread through them. I was like, man, so much of what I love about the characters here even now. So,
yeah.
Mark Waid got me onto the character, but had I been reading before, I probably would have been in love with him anyway.
Yeah.
As a character.
Yeah, I still haven't heard much about what they're doing with Wally. Hopefully.
Hey, have you read the new Heroes in Crisis or looked into it?
Is there a new one out?
I don't know.
I don't think
That's
so.
why I was asking you. You were keeping up with it, so.
I think I have like number 3 or 4. I don't know if the 5th one's come out yet. Whichever one that I haven't gotten.
Yeah.
And each time I'm like, why did I buy this? Like I feel like he gets some of the characters right. And
right, like he gets these moments right, but then the overall story, you're like, how can the same guy have written this moment
Yeah.
and this story?
It's like, I feel like he got the idea of Harley and Booster right in the first issue.
Mm-hmm.
And then, although I do feel like she was a little bit over the top, but, you know, it's Harley, so.
Right.
But then, like, the next issue when she takes on the Trinity, I'm like, how can you miss the Trinity? Like, there's no way that she's going to beat them. Like,
Right.
I don't care. There's no way. And I think, again, we've talked about this. I think it's ridiculous for Batman to have kryptonite on him.
Yep.
If he did, Superman would know because he'd see a lead-traced pouch on him.
I just don't feel like Batman would lie.
Yeah,
I mean,
at least not to Superman. At least not about that.
right.
There are lots of things I think Superman would lie about, but not about that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Batman is the one person Superman trusts.
Right. That's why he gave him the kryptonite.
With that, I don't think Batman would lie about it.
He wouldn't need to.
At least to Superman.
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
But I haven't, I still want to go see that Spider-Man movie. Still
Right.
need to do that. It's blown like everything apart. I think it's been like a huge hit. I think they've already announced the second one.
Really?
That's what I've heard.
Well, that's kind of cool.
So,
further proof that Homecoming should have been about Miles Morales.
Yeah. I'm excited about
Far From Home.
Mysterio. I'm really excited about that. I think we talked about it a little bit, but
a little bit, yeah. Have you seen the teaser?
No.
Okay, they got a teaser.
Maybe I did. That's right. I did. I did see that. I did a reaction video to it. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember my videos.
But you left me out.
Yeah. Well, I think I might have moved by then. So.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I did one on the Darth Vader movie too. I don't know if you saw that.
There's a Darth Vader movie?
Yes, man. This is what happens when you don't hang out on YouTube a lot.
Yeah.
You don't see things like that. So this guy, Star Wars, explain? No, Star Wars Theory. Boom. I just realized I've been playing with this extension cord and it is plugged.
Okay, so this is the movie you told me about. This isn't like a Disney Vader movie.
No. It's a fan film.
You told me about this, yeah.
I just realized I was playing with this extension cord and it's plugged in. Been sticking my fingers in it. Glad I didn't get very far in there. Anyways, yeah. So he did it himself, produced it himself. It is excellent. Go watch it, man. Go watch it. It's really good. It's really good. I got a couple complaints with it, but very small. Especially compared to something like The Last Jedi.
Hey, I can't see if anybody's on, but if you let me know what you guys think about the new Aquaman movie.
Yeah, we've got at least 2 people on.
Yeah.
So
if you're listening, tell me what you thought about the Aquaman movie if you saw it. It just passed The Dark Knight Rises as the highest grossing worldwide DC movie of all time today.
Yeah.
It's kind of fitting, too, that it's Aquaman and Batman, so alphabetically, Aquaman comes first. I mean, I thought about that when I saw that it was going to pass. Now, domestically, The Dark Knight Rises made about 150 million more or something. But internationally, this Aquaman movie has done really well. And I think here in America, it's done pretty good, too, all things considered. So, I I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. So I want to know what you guys think.
If it's doing if it's even being compared to The Dark Knight, then you know it's doing well.
Well, I mean, it's just purely based on figures at this point.
All right, Mango Bad said he still hasn't seen it, but he hears good things.
Yeah.
Well, you can consider from us great things because it's awesome.
Right? No, it's such a great movie. Like, I would like to go see it again before it leaves theaters because it's one of those movies you definitely want to watch in theaters.
So that means you should drive up here and we'll go watch it.
I might be hard pressed to convince my wife of that one.
Bring Chris. He'll enjoy it, right?
Christopher, yes.
Yeah, that's right. You like Christopher.
Well, that's why I named him Christopher.
He's gonna. Okay. Well, anyway,
When he gets older, he's gonna want to change it. I know. I mean, he's already slack about it now. He writes Ray because his middle name is Raymond. He writes Ray on his school papers because he's too lazy to spell out Christopher. Like, he can spell it just fine. He just doesn't want to have to write all those letters.
All right. So Mango Bed asked better than Wonder Woman. I know what you think about that.
Well, he doesn't. So I think it's better than Wonder Woman based purely on the final battle in Wonder Woman.
Right. Well, we did a whole video on it, so if he saw that, then he should.
Well, but he asked, didn't he? He said
I'm
better
just
than Wonder
joking.
Woman.
I'm just
so he
messing
asked.
with you. I'm just joking with you.
I know. So I loved Wonder Woman. We watched that the other day, or a couple weeks ago, whatever.
It was a couple weeks
And
now.
I thought that movie was amazing. But yes, I like Aquaman better.
I'm still on the fence. I love both of them. They're really good. But the last battle in Wonder Woman does make me want to say Aquaman. I mean, I love the guy who played Ares, and I loved the Ares look. There was just
minus the mustache. It's
Well,
distracting.
I feel like once he becomes, you find out he's Ares, and he takes off the like World War I era outfit, he should shed the mustache. It's
Yeah,
that simple. But I think the actor's known for it, so I don't think he was going to do it.
right.
I could be wrong about that, but yeah.
See, but it's stuff like that that led to the mustache in Justice League.
No, that's
For
its own
Superman.
beast. It's its own beast.
I know.
He had to have it for another film.
Another movie, I know.
I
I'm
didn't think it was
thinking-
noticeable. Everybody else said it was, but I just don't pay attention to those things. I don't think. I guess.
It's a matter of CGI, though, dude. And you were telling me that there were certain parts of Aquaman you didn't like because of the CGI. And I'm like,
No. It's not that I didn't like it. I said if I had to criticize one thing, it was there's a couple very obvious moments of CGI.
I know,
It's not-
you shouldn't criticize that movie. It's good.
That's the only criticism I have for the whole movie. Everything else is excellent about
Yeah.
Aquaman. I loved it. So I'm on the fence. I really like Wonder Woman. I like her better than Aquaman, so I'm bent that way. But
You're right.
I do like Aquaman. I love Jason Momoa, so I'm split. I like both of them. It's hard for me to decide. I think time will tell.
Right.
Which one I like better. So, but I think if I went, unbiased, it'd probably have to be Aquaman is better. Just because,
Interesting.
I mean, it did way better in the box office. Very few people have had anything bad to say about it.
Well, it actually made more Wonder Woman made more in America than
Than Aquaman.
Aquaman did. But Aquaman made so much worldwide
Yeah.
that, yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see.
But yeah.
But,
So I thought it was really cool that it's doing that well. It's kind of like when Guardians of the Galaxy hit and it was a big hit and people were like, what's up with this movie? Like, why are people so excited about this?
yeah.
It's not Captain America. It's not Thor. It's not Hulk. It's not Iron Man. What's this movie about? And then it's like its own thing and you're like, this is great. So I'm really hoping for big things with Shazam, Captain Marvel, the real Captain Marvel.
That's right. I love Billy Batson. I'm excited about that movie. I've got issue 2 right here. I haven't read it yet.
Man, the artwork looks great on that, but I
don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
When I read, hopefully the second issue will be better.
right.
So Mango Bed says he's a Wonder Woman guy. For a second, I thought it was World War. Wonder Woman, and he doesn't.
You really are old there, Mango Bed.
Just doesn't know much about
World War-
Aquaman. There you go.
Say that again.
He says he just doesn't know much about Aquaman.
Oh, dude, you want to know about Aquaman? Go read the '90s Peter David stuff. It's excellent.
I've heard that the current series up until recently was really good. They changed writers and
yeah, I heard that too.
I'll tell you, the artwork is amazing though. All I know about it is the artwork, and it's great. It's beautiful.
Hey, if you guys are wanting to catch up, I saw at Ollie's. It's a discount outlet place. Think Big Lots or whatever, but more bigger, like a warehouse kind of thing. I went in there the other day, and they had like a 10-pack of Rebirth comics. And they had Aquaman #1 in there, and one of the Superman #1s in there for Rebirth. I guess it's really just like the Rebirth issue, but could be a good starting point for anybody who's looking for some comics. They also had a bunch of awesome trades that I had to calm myself down from purchasing because I figure I can tell Jonathan about it rather than buy them all up and then try and mail it to him.
I mean, it's when you come visit me and we go watch Aquaman again, you can give it to me, right?
Hey, I gave you some good stuff before you left, man. Come on.
I'm just messing
but
with
you.
I'll get around to that. I know where I put them, so
yeah.
I can get to it soon.
Well, the beautiful thing about those Justice League issues is you can kind of ease into them. The first issue is a standalone story. 2 through 4 is a self-contained story, and then 5 through 7 is sort of a story into itself, and then 7 has a little bit of an extra story in it.
All right, so
I just think you'll go ahead.
This guy says John Wick is greater than all superheroes.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't.
All right.
I've never seen John Wick, but if he's anything like Batman, Superman could crush him in an instant. So I'm not too worried about it. No offense.
Yeah, no. So like, this is the superhero chat, and we do talk about superheroes. So,
well, I saw this meme. It was asking like what person you would have, and it had John Wick on there. I was like, I just don't know anything about him.
Yeah.
Never looked into the series personally, but
right. I think Keanu Reeves played him in the first movie, right?
It's the same guy, yeah, Keanu. I personally, I liked him a lot in the Matrix. And I haven't really watched anything.
Okay, that first Matrix movie is one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time.
It is.
It's
one of the classics.
The other 2 movies in that trilogy ruined that movie series or whatever.
I liked them. My problem with the second one was I just felt like after the first one, he came like in the first one he's very humble.
Yeah.
And in the other 2, he's just out of this world. I'm like, you're supposed to identify with people, like,
right? I think he bought into the hype.
Yeah, I think it's more of Keanu Reeves than the character himself.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
But that first one is
excellent.
Flat out amazing.
Excellent. But, anyways, what were we saying?
Something about you were saying about the meme. You were John Wick on the meme.
It had like a bunch of who would you like save you if somebody was trying to hunt you, and like it had John Wick and Jason Bourne and I was like, well, where's Superman? like, no,
I think they were probably going for a different demographic with that.
It had Jack Reacher.
That's Tom Cruise, right?
Right. It had a couple other people. I don't remember who was on there.
Yeah.
I was like, what about Indiana Jones?
Right.
Because he'd do it and it'd be funny.
That's right.
I guess I was on the Harrison Ford kick when I saw it. It did have Bond. It had Pierce Brosnan Bond, I think.
Oh, GoldenEye Bond. All right.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
But
since I know he can be funny, that would be a good one too.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet it had Liam Neeson too, right?
It did. It did. And I was like, what about Liam Neeson?
I'm sorry. As of late, didn't he just like blow up because of those movies?
Yeah.
I have a particular set of skills. Like,
Or at
isn't
least
that
he
the whole
blew up
deal?
because of the first one.
Right. Well, I mean, that first movie, that's a great first movie,
I
too.
don't know that there's ever been a Liam Neeson movie that I've seen that was bad. But I haven't watched the third Taken movie.
Well,
Anyway.
I don't think I've seen any of them except the first one.
Excuse me. Yeah.
I watched this. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask, what do you think of the setup? You got Yoda and Groot.
I can't see you, remember?
Oh, that's right. Haven't you watched any of my videos since I moved here?
I have not. I have pulled up a number of them.
Okay, well, I'll describe. So I've got Booster Gold right here.
Well, hey, hold on. It says to enable virtual camera output, start XSplit Broadcaster.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you can do that and not mess us up.
I have no idea.
All right.
What would happen if I mess with it? I'm happy that we're in. Like, I don't want to mess up the live stream.
Well, why don't you take your phone if you're not using that and take a picture of your setup and then text it to me?
Oh, hey, I guess I could do that.
Yeah.
Anyways. You can go ahead. I'll pass them. Oh, no. There we go. No! Okay, my phone is doing all sorts of stuff. Weird.
It's an iPhone for you.
Yeah. Okay. That's not really great, but I'll take it anyways. Oh. Feel free to carry the conversation.
But I can't see what they're saying.
Well, nobody's saying anything.
Oh, okay. So yeah, did you want to try and do a reaction video about the Shazam teaser?
Yeah.
Or should I just go ahead and watch that by myself and let you know what I think?
You know, I feel like I may have actually watched it already.
I don't want to hear you say that.
Well, I thought you had already seen it. I thought you had already seen it. That's my problem.
No, I told you I was gonna wait.
Oh, me.
All right, so I'll watch that when I get off with you.
I could be wrong. I don't remember anything about it, to be honest.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd watch it again.
Hey, we look good standing beside each other.
There we go.
Hey, I like that. You got my favorite poster prominently featured. That's good.
That's right. And Captain America. Up this side. That's right.
Yeah, I see that.
Opposite. Oh, there we go.
Is that your Green Lantern next to Captain America? I mean, Green Arrow next to Captain America?
Yeah.
It's hard to see on the...
Yeah, it's hard to see my Superman record up there, too.
Yeah, it's hard to see because I see the Justice League next to the silhouette poster.
It's the lighting.
Yeah, there's a light back there, so it's throwing it off. But yeah, let's
hey guys, if anyone's here, we'd love to talk to you. We can sit here and talk to each other all day. We'd love to let you in the conversation if you got any questions or any topics you'd love to hear us,
pontificate about.
But yeah. So, took a lot of care into it. I got Yoda in there, but my head blocks him every time.
Yeah.
So, I think I moved around a little bit more so I could do this video.
Have you got any new Yoda videos in the pipeline?
So, I had one that I mostly filmed, and then I hated it. And I was like, So, I'm probably going to have to redo that one.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoy the Yoda the videos. It just takes a while to do. Because
my
computer's stupid. And then when I do it, I can't do anything else on my computer. So it's like I can't do any other videos for a day while it's working. So first world problems, right?
That's right. That's right.
Well, one of these days I'll actually I'll upgrade to a desktop, I think.
Hey, tax season's coming up. I don't know if you're going to get a refund or not, but
yeah, I never get a refund.
Oh.
Taxes. Ugh.
A tax man cometh.
That's right. See, this is what great content you guys come to hear us. Come on.
You don't have to go far to hear people complaining about the government.
That's right. Anyways. But, yeah. So, anything else you've been reading?
Probably.
Probably.
Well, I'm fairly certain I finished the Parker Pine short stories, which is something else Agatha Christie wrote.
Okay.
I've just been on an Agatha Christie, particularly just detective stuff
I was
as of
more
late.
referring to comic books, but hey, you know.
Oh, okay. I mean, to really, yes, but I can't remember what. So I bought some old Hulk comics from Brandon's Dollar Bin. Those were really excellent. I mean, I knew they would be. It's Peter David, so
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to dig out my Peter David Aquaman stuff because I really want to read through that again. Let's see. I got the DC Challenge, where a number of different creators work on a single issue, and then they hand the thing off to another set of creators, and they create problems that those creators have to then overcome in the next issue. Yeah. So they create cliffhangers. I want to read through that again. I remember that.
What's that big word? The comedy. It starts with a K, challenge thing. You know what I'm talking about?
No, this is from the 70s or 80s or something, right before Crisis. And so they use a bunch of random superheroes and things. And the first time I read through it, I didn't understand it all because I'm like, why is Superman here and not at the Daily Planet or something like that, you know? And I didn't appreciate it as much, but there's like, you know, aliens and junk. And
yeah. Well, I'm talking about there's this series that came out
recently, yeah.
Recently, that was like a callback to an older one.
Yeah, that's what I had said it looked like, but I hadn't looked into that one. So I don't know.
I mean, I didn't read it because that was money I didn't have.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know any of these writers or characters, so that's funny. It's about to punch Blue Beetle.
Yeah, that's my Martian Manhunter. That's one of them, anyway.
You're funny.
Since you just want to be random, I'm going to show you this. So this is a really jacked Martian Manhunter.
Another character DC needs to do a movie on.
Yeah. I worry with the way that they're doing his comic book that they would screw a movie up.
Well, I don't know that they'll. They did Aquaman really well, and they've messed him up in the comic books forever. So.
Well, anyway, I saw this and I thought, oh my goodness, that's awesome. And so I tracked it down, but this one doesn't have as much articulation as this one.
Oh, you got two of them? I thought it was just one. Two Martian Manhunters.
Yep.
Alrighty.
I have a Hawkman like this too, and a Captain Atom, and a Captain Marvel, the real one, and an Aquaman, and he's got the hook hand.
Okay.
I got it over in the closet though.
Yeah.
I went on a action figure collecting jag one time.
Yeah.
Oh, Blue Beetle. You okay, man?
You killed our friendship.
So Christopher doesn't know this, but they made a Superman in a flying pose, and I got him one for his birthday, coming from Amazon.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
There was one that had him doing the shirt rip reveal. Except the only problem is he doesn't have the S curl, and Christopher really likes the S curl, and the flying Superman one has the S curl, so I'm like, I can't not get him that one, you know.
Yeah.
So I think you'll really appreciate that.
So everybody watching, we thank you for watching this long.
This
is really how our conversations tend to go. We just kind of ramble on for a long time, which is why, like in our videos, we try to actually have an idea for stuff.
Right, because otherwise what are we going to say?
Randomly. But I hope you're enjoying it, you know. Hope you're enjoying our ramblings. We do. I think next time we'll try to have like a regular topic, but.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, I was under the impression we were going to watch the Captain Marvel
Surprise!
teaser, and then he told me before we went live, "Oh, we're just going to chat," and I'm like, "Okay, that works."
Okay.
That works.
Yeah,
so.
I used my one conversation topic a long time ago. It's been spiraling out of control ever since.
Well, we're going to do a video on our top comic book movies. Right, we had talked to them about that before you moved.
That's right.
So he's got to get on that and decide which ones he wants at the top. I've got my list figured out. Sorry, I was reaching for something. And
Mango Bed, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
Peace, man.
Go see Aquaman because it's awesome.
Yeah, it's excellent.
And but yeah, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. So
true fans, you gotta represent.
That's right.
True family, I guess. Right, community.
What were you saying?
Family. True family.
No, before read you the comment.
I don't know.
You don't remember? Okay, well, I was
reaching for something, so you might have seen me reaching for.
Right on. You were talking about your top 10 movie.
Oh yeah, so we've got that coming up.
Yeah.
See if I can find my list of topics. We
just gotta find time.
Yeah.
Guys, my schedule is like completely different here, and so I'm just trying to get used to it. I used to have to get up at 2:30 every morning. Now I don't. And I used to take a nap in the afternoon every day, and now I don't. And so my body has been so crazy. That's why I've been so inconsistent the last couple of weeks. And I went on a mission trip and all sorts of stuff, so just a little bit busy, just trying to keep up, and hopefully as things settle down, I'll be back on it. So, and then Lewis is always busy with the family, and then so it's just.
And I'm looking for a job so that my wife can stay at home more.
So there's that too.
So yeah, so some of the other
jobs in out near Hickory.
Oh, is that what you hear? I thought you said you were going to live there for a little while and let me know how it is.
Okay, it's pretty great so far.
Awesome.
It snowed Tuesday, so that's exciting.
Oh, okay, so that explains why they brine the roads.
Yeah. I don't know if Wake Forest is getting it or not, but
well,
yeah.
There's still brine on the road.
I interrupted you. What did you say?
No, so I was just thinking we could do like a. I feel like our top superhero movies are going to be like more mainstream DC and Marvel kind of stuff. So I was thinking we could always do a video on like our top 5 non-Marvel and DC comic book movies. That could be a topic. We've got to do our top Marvel villains. You, for some reason, think that's going to be difficult for you to come up with 10. I think once you get started, it'll be difficult for you to stop at 10.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Greatest.
I'll end up with like 5 special. What's it called?
Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. That's how it always happens.
Yeah.
Here's the 10 people I couldn't fit in my top 10 list.
That's right. So it's a top 10 with 10 honorable mentions.
That's why we always do like top 15 20. Or top 20.
Yeah.
I just want to mention everybody, you know.
You don't want to leave anybody out.
That's right. I really don't care for some of the villains though, so it's harder for me. There's some that I really like.
Right.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I guess it doesn't help that you're not as invested in Marvel as I was at one point. So yeah. I do have a little bit more.
I like Mysterio.
Well, there you go. So anyway, some others. different hidden gem comic books that we come across, like Diamond in the Rough kind of thing. Underappreciated characters, and then
here's 2.
What?
So, I'm pointing to Blue Beetle and
okay.
Booster. It's funny because I went to point and I went where I normally would point, and then I realized it was on the other side. So
right.
I had to switch around there.
Anyways, then the other thing is like creative teams, like you know how we've talked about Wolfman and Perez on Titans. So a video dedicated to different creative teams that really set the standard. So Lee and Kirby on Fantastic Four, that kind of thing. We can talk about that. So that's just a few topics.
So that's what's coming up, guys. Hopefully,
at some point in the future,
near and not distant future.
And hey, now that we know we can do this, you know, presumably it'll make it a little easier to actually, you know, get on here and do this. So
that's right. So all the fears that we were all having about Lewis not coming back is wrong. Thank the Lord.
Who had fears that I wasn't coming back?
Well, I mean, I was wondering if this would even work.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right, you had fears.
It took me a long time to figure out how to do it, and it works really nice, actually. I like it, except for the fact that you can't see me.
Right.
So, but other than that,
I definitely feel like you have me at a disadvantage.
Well, if you hadn't let your data go, you could have watched it on your phone and at least seen.
Well, I mean, I could do that, but it would eat up my data, is what I said. I actually just got data 2 days ago.
Woohoo!
And so I just don't want to eat through that in the first 4 days.
Like you're eating up this computer data now?
There's no limit to how much data I use on my computer.
Oh, you were saying computer data would be low.
On this thing.
Oh, okay.
If I use my cell phone, like I don't know how to open another window.
Anyways, none of this is really interesting stuff we can talk about later. I'm sorry, guys. We just kind of get going and don't really think about it very often. So
that's why we decided to put it on YouTube so you guys could see that.
That's right. You can actually see how our conversations go.
This is a typical conversation for us.
They just kind of weave in and out of relativity. And,
well, everything's related in some sense, right? I mean, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, so.
Well, to be fair, though, like, it was these kinds of conversations that got us started in this channel, so.
Right.
You know. Hey.
So.
Well, we should probably let everybody go.
I'll just say this because we've talked about it before. I had Pizza Hut the other day, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It messed my stomach up, but it was pretty good.
I had Pizza Hut for lunch today.
Yeah, I bet you did.
They have a buffet on Sundays here. So
was it good?
Awesome. It was pretty good. It wasn't as good as it could have been, but it was pretty crowded. So.
Oh well, there you go.
The only variation of pizza that they had was pepperoni that I would eat. But hey.
Really?
Yeah. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Because I guess we can keep talking even if you kill the live stream, right?
That's right. If you're watching, we really appreciate it. If you made it this far.
You are our hero.
That's right. You're the guys that keep us, and girls, that keep us going. We appreciate the love. Hopefully we'll be coming out with some more content together.
Directed content.
And hopefully I'll be more consistent soon. So once my schedule kind of levels off, which should be real soon, hopefully we'll get more consistent there. And I've sort of found a comic book store, and so that's nice. So I can get more recent stuff. And yeah, so if there's ever a topic you want to hear, let us know. We'd love to talk about it. And otherwise, I want to thank you for watching.
Subscribe.
If you haven't subscribed, go ahead. give us a like, leave us a comment, tell us anything. We'd love to. Even about John Wick, who we have no idea about.
Yeah, we're gonna look into that because I want to know what his deal is.
So, thanks for coming, and we will catch you next time. Peace. Ah! Yes.